Alright. Hello everybody, I'm Metzy007 and I'm here to show you Skylar Plux Adventure on Clover Island 100%. This is going to be alongside my any percent submission, and yeah. So, right from the get-go, I'm playing right now with a modified character. We have that allowed in the speedrunning community, as they don't do anything except for altering the model and appearance of the character. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. And the game is going to be very fast, but there's some downtime in between. And yeah, let's jump right into the game. And thankfully for 100% we have a lot more time to explain a lot of the nuances and glitches in the game. So yeah, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. And yeah, so once we start the run, you notice immediately that we build up a lot of momentum. That is thanks to bunny hopping and strafe jumping. If someone is familiar with strafe jumping in different games, it's all working a little bit differently depending on the game. In this game, if you hold WA or WD, you build up momentum. On the keyboard only, this is a keyboard exclusive glitch. And you can gain insane amount of speeds. It's capped and there's a hard cap on the momentum and speed you can build up, but it's still very, very, very fast, and you can close a lot of gaps and distances with it, and with some other upgrades we can go even further than what we're normally supposed to do. So I'm collecting a little bit of shards early on. So shards is the currency in the game, and we are required to collect a good amount of shards early on in the run. Well, not only early on in the run, but overall in the run, because shards is essentially what we need to open up the collectible cages in the game, and the collectible cages is what gives us all our health upgrades, and we need all of them to finish the run. And sadly, there is, as of right now, no way of actually glitching and duping money. So we have to collect it the hard way. And yeah, so I'm doing some beginner mistakes right from the get-go. That's happening sometimes, but yeah. I want to land into this bush and do a bee hop through this bush. Because there is some money that we get on top of that, so yeah, that's pretty nice. Here is a cutscene trigger. I just jump around, which is super nice, and yeah, continue moving on and using the momentum we build up from bunny hopping to get across as fast as possible. I'm gonna go and collect the shards here, then I'm gonna go and load save again, which gives me the shards and respawns the crate, which is pretty convenient. So normally in the game, and prior to recent findings, we had to use 300 shards very early on to actually free this elder lower, the giant marshmallow in the cage you saw for a split second. But because we found out that you can just skip him by doing some out of bounds shenanigans, we can actually enter this world, this is world 1, without ever freeing him, saving us time and money. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna jump on this tree and then jump around and enter world 1. Because funnily enough, there is actually no invisible wall on the right side, so you can just enter that way. That was been found by a community member, which has been really helpful and huge, and it's amazing that we have this glitch now. So, I'm gonna go collecting money on the way, as I already mentioned earlier on, because we need a total of a lot of money. A cage costs 100 shards? Yeah, shards. To open up, and to get... Yeah, there are so many shards, no cages in the game, so... endless amount of farming required. But this is also a brilliant point in the run to show some, or like not show, but read some donations and similar things. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and jump around these blocks and make my way up top as fast as possible. The goal of this level is up on the mountains, but yeah. I can skip a huge portion if I wanted to, but the problem is, as we need all the cages, I need to take a lot of detours. Yeah. So what you saw there is me bunny hopping really fast and opening up a cage on the go. And yeah, it's one of many. And we got the first upgrade, which is the jetpack. The jetpack is a brilliant piece of utility in the speedrun and in the game overall. It gives us the ability to do a jetpack jump, as you see here. Which is pretty convenient, as we can reach much higher places. You can glide, as you will see in a second. Let's skip the cutscene. Trigger the button. Like that. In combination with bunny hopping, this gives us a lot of distance that we can cover. Which is, once again, brilliant in a speedrun if we want to skip stuff. And lastly, we can roll with it, which is not that relevant right now, but is becoming relevant. And you can do this rocket jump that you can do a bunny hop out of and take on the momentum. But it's quite difficult to do so because the amount of frames you have while landing and gaining the bunny hop speed is very minuscule. So every bunny hop you see here is actually very, very tight and requires a lot of practice to pull off consistently. But it's very satisfying. Yeah. So now we come to the first very interesting part of the run. So this is actually a few strats from very early on any percent runs, which is pretty cool. So what we do here is we jump on an invisible ledge, jump around, open up this cage, and then we continue with 100% things. So we need to jump on this tree, which is a little bit more finicky and difficult as it might look like. Jump across here. There's a giant invisible wall right to our right, but we can just go over this mountain here and go around it and access this area. Normally you're supposed to press, I think, 5 buttons, but this way we don't have to press any, which is pretty nice in a speedrun. So I have 420 shots. This is perfect. I just need 200 more for now, and then I'm good. So on the shots, I'm doing pretty okay right now, but I could be doing better. And I still need a few thousand of shots later on, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I'm gonna go continue scaling up this mountain. I'm gonna go using the bit unintended route here. And jump around the mountain, take this grappling hook note, open up the next cage, going back, jumping through this village that is on fire. This is actually kind of dangerous. A lot of the flames you see in the village actually do hurt you. So now, this is actually a teleporter, so you can teleport to different checkpoints. We need to unlock this, so I can do this. Oh, what happened? Well, multiple things at once happened. Which will I explain while we move along and collect some cages. So, there's a very interesting glitch in Skylar Plux any percent, not any percent, in the game as a whole, that you can just tap out of the game if you don't have control over your character, such as cutscenes or when interacting with the teleporters, and you regain control of your character. What you then can do is, while you regain control of your character and you in the teleport menu, you can just walk away from the machine and press the interact button, and you are being put out of the teleporter menu, but this game still allows you technically to interact with the teleport button. So if I would press the button F right now, it would teleport me right back to the teleporter, which is conveniently also checkpoint for reloading, and that's gonna come in handy in just a second again. So I'm building up a little bit momentum here so that I can get across this gap. I'm opening up this cage, opening up the next cage, and something clearly happened that I didn't pay attention to because I have 11 cages. What? I'm just gonna go and continue on because apparently my game just keeps on breaking and I keep on duping cages for whatever reason. Maybe we need a rule change in the community about that. Oh, that's very unfortunate timing with the rocket. So, I'm building up a little bit momentum with the strafe jumps here to make it across this gap, interact with this cage, and then reload the save. Why? Well, if I'm reloading the save, all the chests or like boxes respawn, and this is very convenient because they give us a lot of shots, and we need all of them. And we're gonna go farm for a little bit now to get enough shots for the next half part of the run, pretty much. So yeah. This is now some brilliant time for donations if you have any. Or if you have questions. I'm now pretending like I would have a commentator here with me. But yeah. What am I doing? I got carried away. Alright, so I'm gonna go and do a shorter run than I originally did in my very first run through this segment, because it's the most efficient way to farm the shards. And I will repeat that right now until I have 1,700 shards. You can get away with a little bit less, but then I need to stop a little bit more in the levels, which is a little bit inconvenient personally. And I would rather not stop too much, as, yeah, stopping is slow and uninteresting. Going fast and bunny hopping through the world is very fun and interesting. So yeah, this is the farming route pretty much, then you reload the save again. Interact with the teleporter, walk back, pressing F again. Well, and yeah. Continue farming shards. So, what I haven't spoken about as much is... Oh no, I didn't dupe. The menu just glitched. Oh, that's interesting. I never had that happen. It's very interesting. Why did the menu early on show 10 cages, like, out of 10? Go, reload. Alright, so I think I should be fine after this farm run. But I might have to run it a second time, but I think I'm good. Which was perfect. Then I can move on with finishing up World 1. Go. More shots. Perfect. Alright, so we teleport back where we originally moved towards. And continue playing the game as normal. Or well, as normal as we do as a speedrunner. And we once again scale geometry and mountains here. To continue unlocking all the cages. So, continue collecting also more shards as I move through the level. So now we reach the mountaintops pretty much. This is why the game starts to now snow. And why everything is snowy. It's pretty beautiful. Yeah. So there is technically a way to skip pretty much the entirety of the level. But this sadly doesn't apply to 100%, or well, not sadly. But yeah. Wow, I jumped right into the water. Brilliant. Okay, I should be careful. Dying here would be not that good. Yeah. So, the game intends us to go a different path normally, but what we do instead here is go around and jump on top of different buildings. I need to be careful, that flame actually does hurt you, and I'd rather don't die. Yeah. I'm breaking all those vases here on the way because they give us additional shards, which is again nice. Yeah. So now I'm going on the backside to talk with the lower, and I'm collecting a little bit of extra health because that's very nice for us. So we go up top here to collect one of the cages, and then we go and collect the second overworld cage. Well, not really overworld, but hub world, I guess. I'm bumping in the cage to get a small speed boost to start my bunny hop. Yeah, and we are off to World 2. World 2 is a very interesting world in the speedrun. In any percent, it's incredibly fast, and it's kind of blink and you miss it. This is a very tight jump. It's very hard to build up enough momentum on there, so... Perfect. This is the one where I have to focus a bit more. And I fell down. That is something that can happen. That should not happen, but it's fine. We just go and continue through the level with some bunny hopping. Yeah. In the any person run, you can pretty much bunny hop really quickly through the entirety of this world. And yeah. It's very satisfying to do and very satisfying to watch. But yeah, we are here going almost, I would say, an out of bounds-ish route to get to this cage a bit quicker. And then we go and continue moving on with the rest of the world. Sadly dropped the bunny hop there, but it's fine. Go around here, collect the next cage. And then we go back up top. We need to be a little bit careful. Because those pesky enemies, they can easily hit us, and it's not really good if they do. So I'm standing on the edge of the water, and then I'm gonna reload the save while I'm moving in the cutscene. This sets my starting checkpoint right where I was standing when the transition happened in the cutscene. I'm gonna go and punch these enemies, break these bases, pots, one more shots, and then again continue moving on, using momentum here, getting around the waterfall and an invisible wall. Wait to get those faces, and in here we have another cage. And the time orb. So these are the gimmicks of the world, essentially. And the... Oh, I didn't even talk what I received for an upgrade. What am I doing? That's fine. So the upgrade that I got is a time orb, which essentially allows us to slow time around us. And we are able to interact with those pylons that you see. So I'm jumping across here with a bunny hop. Normally you're supposed to go around and scale a little bit up, but yeah. Bunny hopping, momentum, jetpack, that's, as I already said before, enables us to do some interesting and crazy skips. So, down here we have another lower that we want to collect. And I'm breaking all the vases down here for more money. And we quickly scale back up. I moved this pylon already in the way I wanted to, because the way I did was very intended, because we need to push it here to open up this door. It's technically not entirely necessary. You are completely able to just walk down, like get over this rock, but it's a little bit more time consuming than just pushing it up in the 100% route. In the any percent route, we can just completely skip this temple and enter the temple through the back, essentially. It's also pretty cool. taking the time here and breaking some pots already. And continue moving on. We are very low actually on money. It doesn't seem like that. But we still have 2 low. Do we have 2 lowers? No, we have 1 lower, I think, remaining in this world. But we still need to like do a lot of farming for world 3, as there are 16 more cages in the overworld. We have 6 more as well. So those numbers will, like, those shards will be gone very fast. I'm gonna go and build up again some momentum. I didn't manage to build up any momentum there. That is very unfortunate. There we go. And there we crossed the gap. Normally you're supposed to platform around, but yeah, we can skip it, which is amazing. And this is, in the any percent run, actually one of the harder parts in the run. So we would enter this area from behind. And but we still have to do those puzzles. But here's the thing. So as I already explained to you early on, you can move in the cutscene by tapping it out and back in. But your camera and your position where you're moving is a little bit weird. You're moving depending on the camera's position in a way, and it's really weird and hard to control. So doing this is pretty difficult. The very first one is very easy still, but the second one is very difficult, and the third one is it's pretty much insane to go for it if you don't go for like insanely fast times, and if you're doing a marathon run, which I actually did in my last time I showed this game in a marathon, which you should actually not really do, but I like to be stylish. But yeah, so this one is a little bit trickier. You have a little bit less of a comfortable and favorable angle. So yeah, as you can see here, I have just very tiny window. I practiced this a lot, so therefore I make it look easy, but it's actually very difficult to pull off properly. Yeah, this is the last puzzle. Casual players all tend to get sometimes stuck here, because this is one that's a little bit less straightforward than the other puzzles, but it's still pretty easy. Yet I managed to like not solve it for a solid amount of time in my very first casual playthrough. Alright, so now also another thing that I didn't mention is that your camera like, and your player facing the camera gets stuck in this state often, which is very inconvenient. So yeah, I'm moving to this room. I'm not moving further. More would be very dangerous, because the game essentially resets your position, or like gives you a checkpoint once the cutscene starts playing. And if you fall into a liquid at the same time, or like right before the cutscene ends, you get stuck there. And every time you reload your save, you just keep on falling into a liquid over and over. And you're a cat. You don't, well, you're not a cat, because right now we're Samus Aran, but yeah, essentially we just take damage, and it's no bueno. And this is World 2. So now we are pretty much good to go into World 3, after we did some more farming. And for that, I'm gonna go right back to our farming spot. Interacting, moving back, pressing interact again. Every time I do this, that's perfect. Cool. I'm switching scenes around because I accidentally tapped into OBS. Good job, me. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Continue farming money. Very professional. But yeah, this is something that can happen, and it's kind of dangerous actually if it happens. And you just stop streaming by accident because you press the wrong buttons. Load, save. Yeah. So this time we require actually more shots than the first time. I briefly said that earlier on, because now we still need to collect a total of 19... I think it was 25 cages. What am I doing? I need to load this last save. One thing to maybe point out, this is also my second run of this category, so I'm still in the learning process, but I am pretty confident in the ability of myself to get to a top level in this category as well. I've been running this game since 2017. I love playing this game. It's a lot of fun, and yeah. Will take a little bit longer, but we are getting there. Just a lot of farming shots. Yeah, another round done. Let's go and continue with the next run. A few very interesting glitches you can also do with this, with interacting with the loads, with the teleporter, and tapping out and tapping back. And if you die at the very same time, and then, like, if you die and then just teleport back to the teleporter and teleport anywhere else, you respawn but with 0 HP, so you can still die, and you will die, if I remember correctly. But it's a very funny visual glitch. One more round. And I moved too close to the teleporter, which is why this cancelled everything again. Oh, I stopped the recording. Cool. I need to use the Twitch bot then, in that case. I tapped out and pressed stop recording. Cool. Well, anyways, back to the game. So this is the last farming run we do, and then we're completely set. And can continue playing the game. So I can just press F now and get back to the overworld. And now I'm just gonna go straight to World 3, which is the most interesting world pretty much in the speedrun, and it's very cool and very technical, and I'm excited to show it to you. Right, so we start up with a little bit bunny hopping, nothing out of the ordinary. But it's going to be very, very interesting, very fast. Because of a lot of tricks that we can do and will do. So we're just gonna go and continue bunny hopping through this area. There is a cage here. We're gonna do a roll jetpack over, start a bunny hop, use the momentum and get over there. Time stop there. And now look at this. Yep. Rolling has another property that I didn't talk about early on. The rolling animation overrides different animations, such as the staggering animation. I'll explain it a bit. So what I'm doing here is I'm picking up the ball and moving already to the lower cage, and that is hidden behind here. The ball rolls automatically right to the end, which is pretty convenient for me. Oh, and what I want to do then is I'm going to interact with the teleporter, walk away again, and then continue on with my journey and adventure. I'll explain in a second why I'm doing that. I'm using the time stop here to avoid getting hit, because this room is full with a lot of enemies. And I'm teleporting back. And now I'm running around here. Why am I doing this? Normally you're supposed, or not really supposed, but you have to go around a long way and solve some mirror puzzles. But you can just teleport back and skip all the mirror laser puzzles, and it's much faster that way. I'm using the time stop here again to not get crushed, because getting crushed is slow. And above us is another cage that I need to free, and I will do so. Can I build up enough momentum? Yes, I could, but I nearly... sadly, didn't work out. What am I doing? Alright, so now we want to go and continue on with the level. There's a gigantic gauntlet up ahead in front of us, but we don't want to do this because it's slow, and we also need to collect a few more lower cages. And... ooh, it's much faster to just go around, but sadly I messed up the bunny hop. So let's try this again. It's a little bit tricky to do this bunny hop properly. This is the so-called effect in German. But yeah, whenever you want to showcase something, it goes wrong. Well, this is my last life. This is really bad. Perfect. Well, not really perfect, but good enough. Right, so we collect this lower now, and because I'm very low life, I will not get any extra health. I'm just gonna take this checkpoint and die. This respawns me with full HP. It's pretty nice. So I don't have to worry about health anymore anyways now. But yeah, normally we would have to go a very long way and do some laser puzzles and some shenanigans. But yeah, we just skip this all. And remember the roll? Yeah, you can skip these laser mirror puzzles that we never got to see by just going out of bounds. It's a pretty big time save. Right, so there's a lower cage right below us hidden. You can hear that lower, but you cannot see it. And here's one of many gauntlets, and it's amazing. So, I don't know how much I talk about the rolling animation, but so let's talk again for a second about how the out of bounds and the rolling animation works. So, the game, when you get staggered by a liquid, it checks the last known position where you stood still, essentially. And this conveniently, this normally is not in the liquid, because if you're in the liquid, you usually just get staggered. Why am I not getting a double jump out of this? This is very, very, very bad. What the hell is going on? Yeah. But if you roll through a liquid, it overrides the staggering animation, in which case you can just... what is going on? Can just stand on the liquid floor, on the floor below the liquid, and with that, the game just sees, oh, like, oh, your last known position was actually in below something, and just like that you can just skip the whole part of it. And I don't know why I'm keep messing this up. There we go, much better. Right, so we collect the last 2 cages, and then that's it, and we pretty much finish the entirety of the game. There are a few more cages missing, but we collect them at the very end. Alright, so now there's the gauntlet, and we need to kill every single enemy right there, in there. And yeah. Once we've done this, we can continue with the run, finish up World 3. Jetpacking up, getting up top, and yeah, we continue here with bunny hopping a lot, and yeah, we get a lot of momentum here. We use a ground pound here, take the momentum upwards, and just skip the last little bit of platforming in World 3. And in here we can actually move in this cutscene once again, and there's another gauntlet right in front of us, and we can clear that already pretty much immediately before the cutscene even finishes. Saves another few seconds. And yeah, that's the entirety of World 3 done. And those are now 10 cutscenes right after another that are playing. And we go through all of them as fast as possible. Cutscene. Next one. And let's collect the last few remaining cages. We go and teleport back once again here. Move backwards and connect the last few cages on this part of the island, in the hub world, that we weren't able to access, or that didn't spawn at the very beginning of the run. And once that is done, we can actually do the final boss of the game. And they are all conveniently on our way, so there's 2 more that we need to collect. We need the time stop up here. We need to collect this one, teleport back, and once we're done with that, collect the last 2 that are located here, and then we are done with collecting every single cage. I forgot to interact with the teleporter and set up a teleporter warp. That is my bad. And that's all the upgrades there's in the game. And time for the final boss. The final boss could be done in very quickly, or it could take a little bit longer depending on how well I perform. But essentially we can one-cycle this boss conveniently if we do it properly with the time stop orb. I'm gonna try to pull it off. If yes, that would be brilliant, and if no, then yeah, that's unfortunate. Right, so we dodge 2 attacks. He's gonna shoot a rocket, or 2 rockets, and then we reflect that rocket with the magnet. We use the time stop orb, and then we just go and mash the living hell in a certain rhythm to try to successfully one-cycle him. And we did it perfect. That's actually pretty nice. And that's the run. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Much appreciated. I hope you do enjoyed the commentary and the run for Skylar Plux. This my submission video. And yeah, there's not a lot left to say. Yeah. Thank you.